Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I have for you an updated highlighting and contouring for beginners video because let's face it, the last one I did was over a year ago when I first started YouTube and it's pretty bad. Now please remember this video is for beginners and I'm going to show what is generally going to suit most people. The aim of the game with highlighting and contouring is to shrink and enlarge different features to make your face look more balanced. So in true highlighting and contouring, everyone's face is going to be different. Anyway, if you want to see my tips and tricks for highlighting and contouring, as well as what brushes I use, just keep watching. So first, I like to go in with a silicone-based primer. I've got oily skin, so my pores are quite obvious, so this is going to hide it as well as any fine lines. So I just like to take a little bit on my finger and concentrate it where I need it the most. So like on my cheeks and my forehead, and then a little bit on my chin and my nose. And you just massage it into your skin so it gets into all those pores or lines. Next, you want to go in with your foundation that matches your skin tone. I'm using the Makeup Forever HD foundation in shade 123. Now this doesn't match my face, but it matches my neck because I always wear sunscreen and I don't apply any fake tan or products to my face. So generally my face tends to be a few shades lighter than the rest of my body. I'm just going to put a few pumps of my foundation on the back of my hand. Then I'm going to use my Real Techniques Miracle Sponge to apply that to my face. You don't have to use a sponge for this step, you guys can use a brush or your fingers, whatever you like. I just prefer to use a sponge because it gives you that kind of airbrushed finish. But if you're someone that needs like a lot of coverage or anything, you might find a brush works better. Also try not to use too much product around your eyes, just because we're going in with concealer around there, and if you have too many products around your eyes, it can go cakey or start creasing, which are two of the things we like to avoid. Now moving on to concealer, you want to take your concealer that's either 1 or 2 shades lighter than your skin tone, depending on how dramatic you want your highlight to be. I'm using the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer in shade NC20 and I highly recommend this concealer. It's a really high coverage concealer and is the only concealer I've ever tried that doesn't crease under my eyes. So again, I'm just taking a pump on the back of my hand. I like to use my hand as a little palette. Then I'm taking a concealer brush. This one's not anything special, this one's just by Artiste, you can get it at Priceline. You can even just use your fingers if you want to. Anyway, I'm taking some of that concealer onto the brush and I'm just going to paint like little triangles under my eyes. So I like to start at the inner corner and just drag it outwards and down. Doing this is really going to make your cheekbones look more lifted, as well as brightening up your eye area so you look more refreshed and awake. And then you just want to take a tiny bit outwards as well. Like that, on top of the cheekbones. And don't forget to get the very inner corner here as well, just to brighten it up. So generally, if you only highlight under your eyes, it can look a bit unbalanced. So we're going to highlight the center of our face too. Now keep in mind, anything that you highlight is going to appear bigger, so if you have like a large forehead or chin, you have to be careful not to apply too much. So I'm just going to put some in between my eyebrows, like some tribal paint, and then bring it in like a V shape up here too. So if you have a large forehead, don't go too high with it, and if you have a small forehead, you can do the opposite and take it higher. Now usually I don't like to contour my nose because it's very wonky because I broke it, but if yours is straight, generally you just put a small line down the center. Then you also want to do your Cupid's bow to make your lips look bigger. And then your chin, and like with your forehead, you only want to apply a small amount on the top if you have a big chin, or if you have a small chin, you can take it down further. Now, I know a lot of people also like to put the concealer under their contour here, but because this is a beginner's video, we're not going to do that. But if you're confident enough, you can. Or if you guys want, I can make like a more professional contouring video as well. Anyway, so once that's all on, we're gonna blend it out. Now, I like to use my sponge for this, but if you're more of a brush person, I would recommend the Sigma Tapered Kabuki F86 brush. Like with foundation, I just prefer the sponge because I think it gives more of an airbrush finish. But you guys do you. So I'm just gently bouncing the sponge over the concealer, and as you can see, it just blends out any lines. So once your concealer is all blended, we want to go ahead and set that. So for that, I'm going to use the Banana Powder by Anastasia Beverly Hills. I'm just taking some of the banana powder on my Real Techniques setting brush and gently patting that everywhere we put the concealer. You want to make sure that you use patting motions and not wiping motions, otherwise you can disturb it and move it and it'll look all patchy. Alternatively, you could use a translucent powder to set the hold of your face. I just find that the banana powder is a bit more brightening, which is what you want under your eyes. Also, I'm aware the products that I'm using are quite pricey, so if you guys want, I can also do like a drugstore version. I just need to find a good contouring powder from the drugstore because I haven't found one yet. Then to set the rest of my face, I'm using the Makeup Forever HD powder in translucent. And I'm just applying that with like your generic powder brush. I think I got this one from Priceline for a few dollars. Okay, so now we're going to contour, and for that, we're going to use the shade Fawn from the Anastasia Contour Kit. If you can't get your hands on Fawn, another contour powder that I really like is Hoola by Benefit. It's also a bit more warm tone if you prefer that. Anyway, you want to take that powder on the side of a MAC 109 brush, so it's like that. And you want to blend that into the hollows of your cheek, starting from your hairline and working your way inwards. So like this. So I have quite prominent cheekbones already, but if you have trouble finding yours, what you can do is take your brush and just roll it up your cheek, and where it hits that bone is where you want to contour. Alternatively, if you line up the top of your brush with the top of your ear to the corner of your mouth, generally that's where your cheekbone sits as well. And you always want to start closest to your hairline because that's where most of the product is going to go, and then you can just blend it out to the center of your face. And how far you take it in is really personal preference, but generally you don't want to go past the center of your eye, and the further that you take it to the center of your face, the older that you're going to look. So I generally stop about here. And another thing, you always want to blend upwards to lift your face, because if you blend downwards, it's really going to sink your face and make you look a lot older. Next, you also want to blend under your jawline. This is going to make your face look slimmer, as well as help hide any like double chins. So just like this. I also like to bring my contour up onto the corner of my jaw, just because I have a really strong jawline, so this helps soften it and make it look more feminine. If you have a large chin, you can also bring it slightly up onto the base of the chin as well. If you have a small chin, don't do that. Then you also want to take the powder onto your temples and also up into your hairline, like just around the top of your forehead. And with foreheads, you want to basically do the opposite of what we did highlighting. So if you have a big forehead, you want to bring the contour down more, but if you have a smaller forehead, you want to keep it really close to your hairline. And I forgot to mention that I'm using powder to contour because it is a lot easier for beginners to start off with a powder and then work your way up to cream. Cream contours can look a lot more natural if you do it right, but they're also very tricky. And as this is a beginner's video, we're going to stick to powder. But if cream contouring is also something you guys want a tutorial on, just let me know in the comments and I will try and make one for you. Now I'm just going to quickly add some blush. I'm going to use Luminoso by Milani on a MAC 168 brush. If you're after a more affordable version of this brush, I'd recommend the Sigma F40 large angle contour brush. So I'm just going to apply this to the apples of my cheeks and then up along my cheekbones. So like this. And bringing it up along your cheekbones helps to make them look more lifted. This is also a great way to apply blush on more mature skin because it's going to help you look younger. Then the final step is to go in with a shimmery highlighter powder just to give you that nice healthy glow. So for this I'm going to use Sand in the Anastasia Contour Kit, but if you're after something a bit stronger, I'd recommend Mary Luminizer by The Balm. So I'm just taking some on my Sigma tapered highlighter brush, which is the F35 brush, and dusting that onto the very tops of my cheekbones. So just up here. Then I'm also going to put some everywhere we highlighted with the concealer. So on my forehead, down my nose, on my chin, and my Cupid's bow. So those are my tips and tricks for highlighting and contouring. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you did like it. I love you guys so much and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys! Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a tutorial on this makeup look right here. This look was inspired by JLo's makeup at the Oscars recently, which looked so good on her. It's sort of a corally orange smoky eyeshadow with a pale